You want to pray?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Dear Father, hallowed be thy name. We come to you today grateful. Grateful to have seen another year of life, another year of love, another year of ups, downs, hills, and valleys, blessings, lessons, and mastery.
Yeah.
The process is far from easy, but we know that the things that are worth having are worth fighting for. And
Amen.
we're thankful for being the glue that has kept us together throughout all these years, but more particularly in this union that we established before you and those that we love. We ask for your protection. We ask for your guidance. We ask for your wisdom as we continue on this journey as forever newlyweds.
Yeah.
I thank you for my wife. She has proven her worth over and over and over again. He who finds a wife finds a great thing, and I have found a treasure. And I thank you for that treasure, Lord. Please continue to help me as I try to be the leader of the household in the way that you deem to be correct, Lord. Not the way that the world deems to be correct, but the way that
Yes.
you deem to be correct. At the end of the day, thy will be done and thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. And we ask that you help us to align our will with your will so that your will can reign supreme. We'll do our best to keep our eyes open and our ears to the sky so that we can better hear from you. Help us to limit distractions so that we can focus more on one another and the mission that you have for our lives. We thank you for the people that are watching, the people that will watch, the people in the future. We ask that you bless them in their unions as well.
Yes.
Or if they're alone, bless them in their solitude and help them prepare for their union.
Yes.
We pray for those who cannot help themselves right now. We pray for those who don't have the means to support themselves. And we thank you for providing us with means. We'll be so careful to steward them and use them to help bless those who are less fortunate. And we ask that you continue to guide us, guide our footsteps, guide our minds, guide our hearts, guide our spirits. These and other blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Great one, baby.
Good. Good.
And I love the calmness that it creates.
Don't it?
Yeah, that mixed with the deep breaths.
Yeah. Some deep breaths, some good prayer. It's the ruach. It's the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into this.
Yeah, are you ready?
Let's get into this. No more holding back, no more being shy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Year one of marriage.
What up, y'all?
Yo.
If y'all don't know who we are, I'm Josh. This is my wife, EC. We are newlyweds every year.
But we are discussing year
Year
one.
one.
And we're
The Woos. We're officially the Woos, too.
Yes.
Rings and all. If you've watched us before in the past, you will notice that we have reviewed the years of our dating relationship.
Yeah, so the OGs that may
They
have been
know.
around since 2017 when we started our couples channel in college, our
Yeah.
junior, senior years. If you've been an OG that long, then this is like, I'm sure, a big moment for y'all as well.
A lot of people were anticipating and waiting on those yearly updates.
Yes.
We took a break.
We did.
I think
Which
we
we're gonna
stopped-
get into.
Yeah,
We'll get into
we
it.
took a break.
Yeah.
But we're getting back into it, and we wanted to keep you guys up to date, so we're bringing you guys year one of marriage.
Because we did our final year of dating. Was that year 7 or year 8?
It was year 7 mixed in kind of with year 8, but I feel like
this is year 8.
Year 8
year 1 of marriage is year 8.
Year 8. Yeah.
Year 2 of marriage is year 9, which we're in right now, and then year 10 of marriage will be year 3. I mean, sorry, year 10 of
our relationship
marriage
will be year 3.
Yes.
So we're currently sitting on year 1 of marriage, i.e., year 8 of us being together.
Yes, which we concluded.
We're currently in the midst of another year, but we've
Yes.
concluded it. So now we can talk in hindsight.
But like you were saying, if you have not seen any of the past, if you're not an OG, this might even be your first video. You're tuning in on us. Go ahead and check out. Do we have a playlist? And if not, we can make one of like every year of our relationship. We've dissected, unpacked, talked about the toxic traits, things we've realized and awakened to, and just like how we've grown together over the years. So
it's been a journey. To be honest, I haven't personally looked at those old videos.
We have to do it, honestly.
I'm scared to look at those old videos. I am not the same person.
Neither one of us are, which is also the like beauty in it though, right?
Yeah.
Like that goes to show the evolution and the growth of like being college sweethearts, and now we're moving out of our 20s. We've grown through our 20s together because we started dating when we were both.
We really have.
19, 20.
In past years, we weren't as prepared. We just kind of went off the dome. We prepared.
We did prepare.
We prepared. We have notes.
Got some bullet points.
We got some bullet points.
Had to.
Because we're
really
better.
Pulling up. Yeah, we're better.
Because we're better now.
Stronger.
Wiser.
Better. So much better.
Shout out Marvin Sapp.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Those breaths are going to be consistent.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, we laughed at the idea of year 1 being hard for us.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Naive. Y'all, to be honest, the pride was at an all-time high.
Like,
the ego was at an all-time high.
We got this.
We got this.
Can't nothing knock us down.
Nothing. Stop us.
Yeah.
Look at the
Lord. It didn't stop us, but
God's a comedian.
And it just goes to show too, the cockiness and confidence of going into marriage first came from how long we were together.
Yeah, we're
prior.
like, you can't
7 years. Like
be.
we know each other, ain't nothing gonna surprise us, blah blah blah. So we cockily went into marriage like, oh, we got this. This is gonna be slight work. It hasn't been slight work.
It's been far from slight work.
We're gonna get into the whys. Today.
So let's start from 3 days before I do.
Yeah, that's when the story really starts for real.
Our year 1, like really 3 days before I do.
Yeah.
This was a very big road bump for us, to be honest. For those who haven't seen the wedding, it is on our Patreon. You can see the full wedding. We did our marriage counseling
the whole wedding
on there.
series, like
wedding series,
from picking our venue to doing
thing.
our batch trip, like to the wedding day, and the engagement party. All of it is on our Patreon. We can leave a link in the description box below if you're interested.
And a whole bunch more content.
And did we say the premarital counseling session discussions? Because that's on Patreon too.
Premarital counseling discussions are also on there as well. Yeah. In the form of quality conversations.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot. The missing gap of time between when we left and when we came back to YouTube is all on Patreon.
Yes.
And there's more bonus stuff. So if you want to join the fam, support the channel, go check us out. But the real tumultuous start, 3 days before the wedding. Do you want to start?
Well, yeah. So like technically the big overarching thing that we're talking about happened 3 days before the wedding, but a week before was when basically your girl got scammed.
Hard.
Thought that it was my bank calling me. It wasn't my bank. Fiance, now hubby, but fiance at the time, was in the car with me when it was happening, telling me like, hey, this doesn't sound right. Like, I don't think you should, blah, blah, blah. And for me, I was in this mode of like, baby, I just want to, like the wedding is coming. I just want to get this done. Like, And it was such a valuable blessing. I'll never forget that Josh mixes blessing with lesson when it's something that was given by God for us to learn from. And this was like my biggest blessing right before becoming a wife, because that conversation happened about a week or less later, 3 days before our wedding. My bank account was hacked.
And wiped.
Like.
Completely wiped. Like, multiple 5 figures, y'all, wiped.
Yeah. And 72 hours before the wedding. Go ahead.
72 hours before the wedding. I think some great lessons right there. One, never answer the phone for your bank. Just go into the bank.
Yeah.
That's just a side note for y'all in the future. There's been I've heard a lot of people talking about, like, I've been scammed over the phone.
Yep.
If your bank calls you and says something's wrong, just say, okay, I'll go into the bank.
Yeah.
And hang up.
Simple as that.
Don't give out no information. Don't do none of that.
Yeah.
Like, just go into the bank. Talk to a real person.
The other lesson?
The other lesson is thank God for diversification.
Yes. So, yeah, I think we've been doing that, well, throughout our 20s, like slowly diversifying where our money goes. Not all money, our money is in one particular account. We've even had a joint account since college because we started our channel together. Yeah. So it was crazy because not everything was done being paid off for the wedding yet either. But because we had multiple accounts that we could pull from, we were still able to finish things out. But like, that was such an insane experience, and like another one of those moments in particular for me of like having to lean on like my faith and in God. Because EC 3-4 years ago, like I don't know if I would have made it to the wedding day. Or if I did make it to the wedding day, which I would have at the end of the day, other people would have known what was going on. Because I would have been just so outdone and unraveled.
What's actually even crazier is we didn't tell nobody.
We didn't tell anyone.
We went into that wedding so stoic.
Only my mom knew, I think.
Yeah, I think your mom knew.
Only mom knew.
Yeah, obviously you called her and was like, yo.
Yeah.
Like, But we went through that wedding so stoic.
Yeah.
As if like nothing could take. I think we prayed over it. We were like, look, it is what it is. It's in God's hands right now. We can't change it, but we're getting married.
Yeah.
And I think that was like big of us because like a lot of people would have just probably crumbled right there. Not gonna lie. It's a sign from God that shouldn't go through. Like, we shouldn't do it. Stop it now. Kind of. But we were like, well, we got each other. We love each other, and we're gonna ride this out.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
But huge wifey for lifey lesson for me right there of like anytime moving forward that your partner or either of us feel uncomfortable or uncertain about something, which he did in that call, and I wrote him off. That was a big lesson of like, listen to your husband. He's there for a reason. Two minds are better than one.
What?
You know, and it was something like oftentimes, this even makes me think of like our recent situation, like us having to experience something and feel some type of pain or some type of reaction in order for it not to happen again. I.e., like not having our hotel is what I was thinking about. But for this, like I needed to feel the pain of like getting money snatched out of the account. After hearing you tell me and trying to protect me, I refused in that moment to take your protection. Yeah. And now I know what that felt like of like, you ain't gonna let your husband protect you. You gonna get ran over. You know? So it was painful, but like, there's a gratitude now, present day, that comes from that experience and it happening right before the wedding. Because I don't believe in coincidences. I think God makes everything happen for a reason. And I think that lesson could have showed itself after the I do's in different ways that could have hurt more. Right? So that was huge.
I think it was huge. And I think like pain is always and forever going to be our biggest teacher, our greatest teacher. It's hard to learn from a lesson that you got right. It's like, oh, I got it right. Yeah. But when you get it wrong,
that's gonna live imprint. You're not gonna forget it.
Cause like you might be a hothead and win a couple fights, but you'll start thinking about taking another fight when you get knocked out. Yeah. when that one guy pulls up with the sauce,
Right.
and you got to wake up with that black eye. Like, maybe I should, watch my mouth. Maybe I should watch my mouth.
Yeah.
And that's life.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to learn that throughout my 20s. Mm-hmm. We'll probably get into this.
Mm-hmm.
But failure is the best teacher. It's best to learn quickly. Otherwise, it will repeat itself, though.
It's interesting, even unpacking this first part the start of our year one, and how we were initially saying, like, we went into marriage hella cocky and like overly confident.
That should have been our sign.
Yeah, like for me, like that, literally, I think this example personifies Isi then. Hella cocky, I got this, like,
yeah,
don't need no help. Yes, I do.
We all need help.
Yeah. So, okay, that was the kickoff. Yeah. 3 days pass. The wedding day hits. The wedding day, it was beautiful.
There was some hiccups there, but
there was hiccups, right? But
amazing.
Yes, like everything. There was way more good positives than bad. The only hiccup, personally, in my mind, which did have like a chain effect and reaction, and is my biggest regret for the wedding, is not doing my own hair and not rocking my natural hair. But in my mind back then, I was like, if I have a hairstylist, like I already knew I was going to be so overwhelmed just being a bride and that being like wedding day, that like I didn't want that responsibility in my hands. But if y'all have been on my YouTube channel before around that time, I've already done the unpacking of having a ghetto operation hairstylist who did not pull up, was not reliable, and completely set back our entire wedding by 2-3 hours. So you can look at that on my channel. I'm not going to go into detail here with that.
But again, I feel like that was God's planning. Because
why?
If you weren't 2 hours behind, some of my family was actually really late.
You right. I forgot about that.
They would have missed the wedding. They would have missed the wedding had you not missed your hair appointment.
Well, the hairstylist didn't land until it was.
And that's why I always think like it's always going to play out the way God intended. Yeah. Because even when, like, to be honest with you, I know you were going through some stressful times at that point. I had a great premarital morning.
Yeah, I know you did.
I got to play basketball with my dad and my brothers.
Yeah.
We went to breakfast.
Grooms have it so easy and chillax, bro.
I had a great time.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't let it, there was nothing I could really do. Like, a matter of fact, too, now that I think about it, oh, did we wake up together? Remember we were supposed to have like separate nights with me and my girls at our place and you and the guys, but you and your boys ended up crashing us that night, and we all just ended up kicking it till like 1-2 in the morning, I think, of our wedding night. And
then
did we sleep together though?
No. I don't remember where I slept, but I left.
Okay, but I
Yep, I got a hotel. I left.
Oh, okay. But I was going to say, the only thing I remember, I woke up by myself. I woke up to that text from her saying she missed her flight.
And then I woke up to a text from you saying that
she missed her flight. How you going to miss your flight? How is your ASS not in the seat that I purchased? So that was crazy. But even with that, like, all I could really do was breathe it out. I knew at the end of the day, which was the main focus, which I would highly recommend brides and grooms, but brides, I think it affects the most when things do not go to the T planned on your wedding day. Keep your expectations low. For brides to be brides who, like women who plan to be brides one day, not everything is going to go spotless that day. Yeah. And having that understanding ahead of time will help you keep center in the fact that you're there to marry your person. And that was the only thing that, like, I kept repeating in my mind instead of letting that just like ruin my day. Yeah. Ultimately. So she showed up when she showed up, but it set things back 2 hours. But like you said, divinely ordered, because your family wouldn't have made it to the actual ceremony if everything had happened on time. The other hiccup, though, with her showing up late and just delaying everything, we had got a it wasn't a party, but it was like a limo van thing.
Limo van to take pictures.
That was going to take me and him around the city to get some wedding shots. So we had plans to see each other before the actual ceremony, like just to get the jitters out, kind of have the first look moment, blah, blah, blah. We didn't get to have any of that. Our first time seeing each other was when the curtains opened for me to come down the aisle. Yeah. And even that had its own beauty, though. Yeah. Although I
appreciated seeing you at that
for moment. The first time at that moment.
I was committed. I don't mean to sidetrack that, but
Yeah, we can move on past her.
Uh-huh.
I didn't believe that I was going to cry when I saw you. I was like, I'll be all right. I'll tough it out. Not seeing you throughout the day and then seeing you come around the corner looking gorgeous, I was like, oh snap, I'm finna cry. And like I was trying to keep it together. I was like, no, don't do it.
Really?
Like I was trying to keep it together. But like in my head, I think you told me like 3 weeks prior, like you better cry when I come.
I don't know. No, it's always the tease of what women
Yeah.
like. If you don't cry, we're gonna run this back again. Like I'm gonna come back down.
But
the
in my
aisle.
head, I was like, I'm not gonna force myself to cry.
Yeah, of course.
In my head, I was like, I'm not really a crier like that.
Yeah.
It's funny how God makes you. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, like right when I saw you, like it just hit like everything that we've worked for over the past like 7, 8 years, coming to like a climax, which honestly it wasn't really like a climax. It was almost like a climax to the base of a hill that was the new start of our life. But like, yeah, everything that we had worked for was like boiling up in this one moment.
Yeah.
And as you came down the aisle, I was like, oh, that's my wife.
Yeah.
Not only is my wife, it's my best friend.
Yeah.
Like it was like perfect. Everyone we loved was there.
It was so beautiful. And honestly, like I don't really remember anything else other than I never took my eyes off of you.
I didn't either.
Like
I was like, it's just me and you.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody else at all. Other than your dad who was up there with us
Yeah.
with the glimpses of him. But like I just remember also to keep my nerves calm, it wasn't a matter of looking out in the crowd at anybody. I just focused and locked in on you. And it was such a beautiful ceremony and just day in general. I loved too that we had a no tech ceremony,
No tech
no
policy.
phone. So like, yeah, nobody was allowed to have their phones out to record anything, take pictures of anything, blah, blah. And that was very intentional. One of the reasons was because we didn't want anybody to just give away like our wedding stuff, but the main reason was wanting people to be very present in the moment.
Yeah.
Because we live in such a society where like people are always on the go or trying to capture, like instead of being in the moment, they're capturing the moment and they're not really hearing. And that's something
Yeah.
that we were constantly complimented, even to this day, on our vows because people actually heard us.
Yeah.
They weren't distracted.
Yeah, I think that was also a beautiful. I mean, the wedding in its entirety, y'all. If y'all haven't seen the video, like truthfully, it's worth
10 out of
worth it.
10 recommend.
10 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah. And we're not just saying that because it's us. Like we went
had a
up.
time.
We was up. Yeah.
We
it was
had a
fire.
time. And it was beautiful. We didn't do the groomsmen, bridesmaids.
Yeah, the bridal party. We didn't do
We
that.
said no. We're gonna save ourselves the stress. That was a beautiful idea. 10 out of 10 recommend. We didn't do normal catering. We did food trucks.
Yeah. Ooh, my goodness. The
10 out of
food
10
was on
recommend
point
that.
for
I think we had all the Chicago favorites. We had Garrett's popcorn. We had
Harold's chicken pulled
we had
up
some
at the end of the
African
night.
dishes.
Walking tacos,
Walking
actual
tacos.
tacos. Just a whole, like almost like a taste of the woos. I was gonna say taste of Chicago.
Didn't we
but
have what's the name of that?
you talking about the Frosty Shakes thing?
Frosty.
It was Jack Frost.
Jack. Was it Jack? No, it's not Jack Frost.
Oh, it was something like that though, with like just the extra
Yeah.
ornaments of stuff on the
I think it
shake.
starts with a J.
Crazy thing. Okay, actually, aren't we gonna do a different video though?
Yeah, we'll go over this in
Okay.
another
I was
video.
gonna say there
We're
was
gonna
other stuff
dive
about
way
the
too
wedding.
deep into the
Yeah,
wedding
yeah.
stuff. Like,
We'll give you
we
guys
gotta
more
get
on the
through
wedding.
all of your
Year
one, 'cause
one.
that's just the starting point.
Yeah.
Okay,
So wedding day was gorgeous, beautiful,
Amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
We didn't. Honestly, our wedding day didn't end until the next day, 5 a.m.
Literally.
But we'll get into why that was in another time.
Okay. Because that was so crazy.
Yeah. So then it was honeymoon time. Honeymoon.
Mood. Yeah, we did a
called it
honeymoon.
So I guess before the wedding, we had done a lot of traveling. We did a combined bachelorette trip party
To Cabo.
That's also on Patreon. We did like
That
a
was
whole
up.
bunch.
Yeah, we did a
We
lot.
went hard in the paint. And so like after the wedding.
Our engagement party was at United Center.
Oh man. Also, yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah, all that was huge.
For those who might not be from Chicago, the United Center is like it's not even Staples
Basketball
Center in
arena.
LA anymore, but yeah,
Yeah.
our Bulls, our NBA team plays there.
And our hockey teams.
And then all the concerts of big artists happen there too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we did all that, and we were pretty pooped, to be honest. And so like we were like, all right, well let's let's just take a week and
bum it out
Bum
for real,
it out
for
for real.
Like we really moved to the beat of our own drum during our wedding season, which I really love too.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a matter of us seeing like other people. Because if we went the typical traditional route, everything that we did was completely backwards.
Yeah.
Not having a bridal party, doing a combined batch trip.
Yeah.
Not going on a honeymoon right away, and instead like.
Yeah.
Being able to just crash on the couch. We made our own little. I think you posted a reel.
I did. Our
of
honeymoon.
that. Yes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And that was, and honestly too, the reason we also did that is because we were going to be going on a brand trip. This was supposed to be this extravagant brand trip, I think to London or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
For a week, like a couple weeks after our wedding.
Staying in a castle.
Yeah, staying in a
glass
castle, getting
boats,
flown out
whole
to-
bunch
yeah.
of, like they made it sound real noise.
Yeah, it was going to be, but ultimately, like 48 hours, I think, before we were supposed to
48
go
hours.
on the trip, we get a call that they're no longer going to be able to do the trip because not all the T's were crossed and I's were dotted. And
Yeah.
it was like going to be a huge liability to have all these content creators come out somewhere that wasn't solidified and fully paid for, or
Yeah.
something along those lines.
Because I mean, they were talking private jets.
Yeah, they were going to
Like
do a lot. That was going to be.
helicopters. Like I was like, yo, this sounds too good to be true. It was.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the dude, I think it was hilarious. The dude called and said, "I'm the guy you get to yell at."
If you have any
If
questions,
you have any
let
like
me know.
grievances,
Yeah.
questions, just let it out. Like I'm the
Yeah.
guy. I know we've been talking about this for weeks.
Months. That was planned for months.
Yeah, and we were just like, just have a good day.
Yeah, literally. But after that call, that's when we were like, but we still want to go
Yeah,
somewhere.
we're gonna
We still
fight
wanna
back.
do something. So we decided to plan a honeymoon to Jamaica in 48 hours.
Yeah, we did like a quick 4-day stay in Jamaica.
I thought it was almost a week.
No, it's 4 days.
Okay.
4-day stay.
Okay.
And be honest, it probably felt like a week because we did so much.
We did
Climbing waterfalls,
zip lining, horseback riding,
like-
ATV riding, played tennis,
Like we did it
dinner
all.
on the beach. We did a lot.
We did it all.
Yeah,
And
but
it was amazing.
amazing. Yeah,
It was amazing.
It's so cool. Like we thoroughly enjoy group trips with friends and stuff like that. But there's something so intimate and special going on a trip with your person and being able to move to the beat of your own drums. If we don't want to do anything for the day, we won't.
Guess
if
what?
we want to go drive, like when we didn't, that was Hawaii that I'm thinking about.
Oh,
When
yeah,
we just
that
like
was
drove
pretty
around,
bad.
but like we just be vibing it on the same type of time.
Yeah.
And it's just really fun. So we had a great honeymoon
Great.
and honeymoon too, because that was so necessary.
Yeah, the rest period was definitely necessary. Didn't want to
Yeah.
just like go wedding what we did and then immediately hop on a plane and go.
Yeah.
We probably would have took like 3 days just to recover, and then we wouldn't have enjoyed wherever we went,
Right.
and like that wouldn't have been fun. So like having that gap, and like we honestly waited like a month.
Yeah, we got married October 1st, and we
the trip
went
was October.
the end of October, like
Yeah.
the last week.
So that was cool. Now,
Yes.
after all that beauty, this is where
The turbulence begins.
the seatbelt light comes on.
The mask, does the mask drop or not yet?
You hear the captain doo doo. We got a couple clouds coming up. We need everybody to make it back to their seats and buckle their seatbelts. Okay, so for those who don't know, I was diagnosed with ADHD earlier this year.
Early 2022.
Earlier 2022. Yeah.
Yeah, you said this year.
Oh,
It's
earlier.
2024.
Earlier in 2022.
Before we
earlier
got
that year.
married.
So technically, this would probably be a part of year 8 if we were doing it by the dates of our dating. They probably didn't get this in a year 7 update.
Correct.
So there was a lot of health scares earlier this year for both of us.
Yeah. In 2022. He
in
keeps saying
2022.
this year. He means the year we're discussing
Yes,
is
the year that we're
2022.
discussing. If I say this year, just know I'm talking about the year we're discussing. But we both had some serious health scares. Both had cancer scares.
Yeah.
And then I also was diagnosed with ADHD.
This was February and March 2022.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was February.
And we both hadn't been to the doctor in like 5 years either.
Yeah, we
so
just-
our goofy, naive, cocky,
All that.
black asses were like,
All that.
oh, we're good. Let's just get checked up on. Yeah.
So yeah, earlier that year, diagnosed with ADHD. They put me on a prescription Adderall. I was taking it, seeing improvements, but then somewhere around this time, I started having complications with the medicine.
What time?
Around November.
Okay.
really before that, it was sort of like there was like adverse side effects to Adderall that I wasn't really a fan of. Like I would take it, and then like closer to the end of the day, I'd be very restless. I wouldn't eat as much. I kind of felt like a different person. I didn't like that because I like who I am. So around November, it actually got even worse because I was having heart complications. Like when I would take it now, it's not just restlessness. Like there'd be like super sharp heart pains throughout the day, and I would get like really scared. So I didn't even consult my doctor. I just stopped taking Adderall. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna stop. I don't recommend that. Just cutting something cold turkey is not how you go about it, especially when you've like basically like dosed yourself into it. Cutting it off will have adverse side effects. They kind of showed themselves through my behavior in the latter half of this year.